So the Book of Enos for sure is the most well-known of these textual portions. It is a beloved story. It's a memorable story. For those of us who have lived with the Book of Mormon for a long time, it's one of the stories that we have heard the most and thought about the most. It has a powerful and direct message about the power of prayer, about the loving responsiveness of God, the expansiveness of Enos's soul as his prayer radiates outward from himself to these successive circles of concern. But the Book of Enos itself is a little bit of a puzzle. We know those first 18 verses really well, but there's another 10 verses or so after that, and they really don't seem to fit well with what came before. It's hard to reconcile those narrative voices. It almost seems as though there might be 2 or 3 different narrative personas there. We have the opening narrative, but then we have some historical material about the Nephites and Lamanites, verses 19 through 24, that frankly contains some really harsh othering language about the Lamanites. And then we move on to his sort of farewell, where Enos sort of invokes a very beautiful, peaceful and loving reunion with God, which actually doesn't seem to fit very well with his description of Nephite religion at that time. So how do we make sense of these different disjunctions? It could be a function of Enos's age and experience as he has grown and worked on this record at different times. It could be a function of genre, right? He's writing in different generic forms in these 3 portions of the Book of Enos, and that probably shapes his tone and shapes his content in important ways. Or who knows, it's possible that he may have employed some sort of assistant, right? And perhaps we actually do have multiple consciousnesses in this book. Of course, we know that we do because we have Enos, plus layered on top of that, we have the consciousness of the translator as well. So let's dive in and see what we can make of this puzzling book. I'm going to share my screen here for a minute. Here we go.